Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm really sorry for being a couple of minutes late. We had a problem with the username on StreetYard. But anyway, it's now sorted. I'm connected. I'm here today with Ana from Draper B1 and Tristán from Abac Nest. And you'll see the startups in a minute. Just before I introduce them both, or I let them introduce themselves, maybe even better. Just to give a quick description of BIND 4.0 for those of you who don't know how the acceleration program works. This is an Industry 4.0 open innovation acceleration program. So all the startups that join the program join paid pilots with corporate partners from industry, which makes it very interesting, both obviously for all parties involved. So for the corporate partners, obviously they have access to innovation and proof of concepts that allow them to incorporate that innovation into their day-to-day processes if the proof of concept goes well. For the startups, they obviously have access to customers and paying customers. So it's not quite the same when something isn't paid for as when it is. Obviously, the perceived value is more correlated to the to what's being provided. And for investors, it's obviously very interesting because it means all the startups that have been through the program have a commercial validation of the technology, which obviously, in very niche and deep tech startups, as a lot of these startups are, helps enormously in terms of the credibility and that startup has with the investors. So anyway, without more ado, I will let Ana first of all, and then Tristán introduce themselves and very quickly the funds they're from, and then we'll jump into the startups themselves. So Ana, the floor is yours.
Okay, so thanks Sam a lot for inviting me, and thank you everyone. I'm a member of the investment team at Draper B1. We are an early stage VC fund from Spain, investing both at the pre-seed and seed stages with a stronger focus on the seed stage. We normally invest once the startup already has a little bit of traction in the market that proves a little bit its value proposition. And we're quite agnostic, but with an increased focus in the new and most innovative technologies such as artificial intelligence or blockchain, in the areas like cybersecurity. But like in general, every software, B2B software, would be a match for us. We're investing tickets ranging from 100,000 to 500,000 on a first ticket, and we have the capability to follow on up to 1.5 million per company. And I'm not extending any longer to give more time for the others.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Ana. So Tristán, the floor's all yours.
Thank you. Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you for inviting us. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm Tristán Conde, analyst at Abac Nest. Abac Nest is an early-stage VC investing in pre-seed and seed companies here in Spain. Our investment thesis is to invest. Well, we are agnostic. We do not. We are agnostic, but usually we invest in B2B SaaS companies. That will be our sweet spot. We invest with first tickets ranging from 100 to 500,000 per company as first tickets, and we also have we have reserved half of the fund size for follow-ons to do this type of operations. And we can invest up to 1 million per company. Our size of our fund, it's 20 million. We're still in fundraising, and our objective is to invest around 40 companies as a whole, which is around 10 a year. That's our main thesis. We usually like to invest in companies as the first investors, as the preferred investors for those startups. And we've currently closed 3 deals, and we are in our investment period, so looking for new opportunities within the B2B SaaS space, mostly here in Spain, but also seeking for opportunities outside Spain and also outside the B2B SaaS vertical. So happy to be here and keen on listening to these projects.
Brilliant. Well, I hope you'll find them interesting. As I say, they have a commercial validation from within the Bind 4.0 acceleration program, and they have generally a sort of quite a decent level of traction and some quite interesting technologies. So without more ado, I'll bring Daniel on, who's the first startup to present today, which is Recog Analyitcs. Unfortunately, the third one that is due to present, Eatamigo, he's had to be taken into hospital for an operation on his shoulder. So we'll go over it in a second. He's given me a video, but I'm not sure if putting a video on a live event seems a little bit odd. So I'll ask your opinion when we reach the third startup if we play the video, because you can't obviously do Q&A, or if we give a little bit more time to the others. So anyway, for the moment, I'll bring on Daniel from Recog Analyitcs. Hi, Daniel. If you could start sharing your screen, I'll add it to the.
Hi, Tom. Hi, Ana. Hi, Tristán.
Hi, how are you?
Guys? All good on my side. I'll try to share my screen now. Please let me know once you are able to see it. Perfect. You let me know, and I give it a go.
It's on. Okay, so I'll disappear off now, and I'll be back. I'll do a sort of a very gentle reminder where when you see me appear back on screen, the 3 minutes are up, and in theory you should stop the presentation, and then we jump into the Q&A. Okay, so I'll leave it to you, Daniel, and I'll be back in 3 minutes. Okay.
Perfect. Thanks a lot, Tom. So I'm Daniel Heinrich. I'm the founder and CEO of Recog Analytics. We built Relisten, a software to automate clinical notes for patient-centric medicine. Okay, so what does a patient want when they go to the doctor? They want the doctor to be there for them, to look at them. And what does the doctor want? Exactly the same thing, but also not to spend nearly 2 hours each day taking notes, which is what they're doing right now in consultations. So this is a huge problem if you consider as well that the system is not sustainable and that we have a huge shortfall in GPs. So governments really know that the way forward is to improve the efficiency with technology, and they are investing into this. This is where a solution comes in, Relisten, which takes notes for the doctor during the consultation in a multi-person interaction, no scripts, fully natural, and the notes are fully structured. It's of course GDPR compliant, it's certified, and it's not a medical device, which is relevant in our industry. So what does Relisten do? It takes this status quo of the current visit, which is around 10 minutes long, of which 3 minutes are the red boxes which are written, and it takes it into this new format where the interaction between the doctor and the patient, it's much closer, it's uninterrupted, and then Relisten processes the notes, generates an initial draft that the doctor can review. That way, we save up to 20% of the total visit time, which is a huge boost in efficiency, and we also improve the patient satisfaction at the same time, so everybody is winning here. Now, of course, we have competitors who are centered mostly in the US market, and they've raised millions. But we were by far, by more than 1 year, the first mover in Spain. And we've developed a structuring algorithm that allows us to provide the highest quality notes of integrated notes into the hospital systems. It's a SaaS solution. We offer it as a corporate license for big hospital chains and also for private hospital groups, and the target market is huge. It's over 20 billion for the notes worldwide. Only in Spain, it's already 200 million of possible annual recurring revenue, and that's our focus for now. But we also have further ideas to expand our solution. Traction-wise, right now, well, this is not as up to date, so we're already piloting in 7 different places, huge hospital groups such as Clínica Universitaria Navarra, Ribera Salud, but also in public healthcare system and public hospitals. We are piloting all around Spain, and already establishing initial collaborations outside of the Spanish markets together with our collaborator T-Systems. The team is very seasoned, well-rounded team. Alberto, our co-founder, he led the team of more than 50 software developers already before age of 30, and Carlos studied simultaneously physics, maths, and medicine, so he's the perfect bridge. We've already attracted additional client super advisors, and just to focus our collaborations, different programs we joined, we have our certifications, and we've managed to bootstrap this so far. That's it. Thank you very much. Happy to hear your questions.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Daniel. So again, I'll leave now the floor to the three of you, and you've got 6 minutes for Q&A. If I see that you stop asking questions, don't worry, I'll come on and I'll move swiftly on. But I think you've probably got enough questions for the next 6 minutes. Okay, so I'll be back in a bit.
Okay. So Tristán, you wanna start, or I can start as you wish.
Go ahead, Ana.
Okay, Daniel, so nice to meet you. Thank you for the presentation. My main question around your project would be around the tech. So generative AI has made a big revolution, and we're seeing a lot of possibilities to transform voice to text, text to voice, organize, summarize, etc. So I wonder, you were saying that your solution provides a higher quality of the notes. How can you measure this higher quality? Have you had the chance, perhaps, at any of your pilots to test your solution against one of your competitors?
Yeah. So just to give a couple of examples, so CUN, Clínica Universitaria Navarra, tried the solution out with Microsoft with Nuance. Didn't work. They are now piloting with us, and we already have first agreements of doctors who sent their confirmation that they recommend the solution to be installed. So I think that speaks for itself. And as well in other hospitals such as Valle Hebron, they tried Nabla solution, they tried ours. It works better. And why does it work better? What are the technology enables for that? So we have a three-step process, which is the transcription. Then we have a structuring algorithm, and then we have a generative AI step. And in each of the three steps, we do a couple of things differently. So in the transcription step, we've optimized transcription for in-person visits in noisy environments with different people, and we've also included additional medical terminology to improve the word error rate, because then the transcription is really the base for the rest of the notes generated. The structuring step is probably what sets us most apart from our competitors, because it's really easy, as you said, to just...
Daniel, what you said, sorry? The
structuring.
Okay,
how we structure the information, because like most of our competitors, what they simply do is, okay, they transcribe something, they just send it over to ChatGPT or something and say, okay, please summarize. That any solution can do. You can do that with notes in Teams. But in medicine, that simply does not work, because you have highly structured information. For example, you have all of the medical background, which is segregated into previous diseases, into toxic habits, and all of that is further structured down the road. And really matching the information to every one of the fields correctly, that's our biggest competitive advantage. And finally, in the generative AI step, we've also build internal procedures and models and combine them to improve that quality, and it's paying dividends so far.
So just to understand a little bit better, you used some prior knowledge specific to the medical sector to build your own structure. So what's this background, or what is your background in this medical sector, and how did you get there and got access to it?
Yeah, so Relisten is really our fourth solution. It's basically our third startup within the company, but we didn't want to raise money before we had really a very clear, very solid use case. So we were doing a lot of consulting work for hospitals and clinics all around Spain of applying optimization and AI. And that's where we got a lot of collaborators, together with our co-founder, Carlos, of course, who is a doctor. and led all of that structuring effort. We were in contact with, by now, I think more than 30 doctors helped us doing the structuring for different medical specialties so that it's consistent and scalable across at least the whole Spain, but we've already seen that it's also scalable further internationally.
And Daniel, well, thank you for the pitch. I didn't tell you that. Thank you for the presentation. What's your value proposition? It's the the pain you identified is the time doctors spend on writing notes. Is that the patients do not understand those notes? Sometimes that has happened to me. What's the value proposition for those doctors?
Yeah. So the value proposition, the doctors are our users. Our client is really the hospital system. And what's the value proposition there? It's double and even third-fold. The main two ones is you increase patient satisfaction with the visit. So that's huge. You as a patient don't want to go, and especially if you are an oncology patient or you are a terminal patient, you don't want your doctor to be writing while they talk with you. So that's huge already for them. But then more, as well from an economic standpoint, it's the efficiency gained. As I mentioned at the beginning, some doctors spend nearly 2 hours writing a day. For a normal doctor, it's about 1 to 1.5 hours. With our solution, they can reduce that to basically 20 to 30 minutes of effort each day. So you run the numbers of how much 1 hour every day of doctor time is worth. And just to put it into figures, if this solution would be installed across whole Spain, it would be as having additional 12,000 doctors within the system. Just so you can measure the value that this solution brings. And the third one, just to complete, is we also structure the information more than the doctor do in the first step, which enables AI, as we all know, for the future. Yeah.
We're out of time, Tom.
Yeah, we're out of time. We've actually got one question that came in from the audience, so I'll put it on screen to give them their time. So if you wouldn't mind answering this one very quickly, Daniel.
Sure, no problem. So as I mentioned at the beginning, we're not a medical device. So thankfully, we didn't have to go through MDR because we don't do any recommendation or diagnostics. The big barrier, of course, here is GDPR, data privacy. What we did here to overcome it is first, we build it with privacy first in mind. But even having all of the certification required, etc., and having a very solid process, we decided to not save any data. We don't use any data for anything. It's just a software that that uses the conversation to generate the notes. It sends it back to the hospital system, and it removes everything. So we are not an attack vector for cyber attacks.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you very much for that. So we'll say goodbye. Thank you very much for your pitch, and we'll bring Angela Marie on, who's going to explain. We've got to be very gentle with her because she's not used to doing pitching, but she'll explain why she's pitching today, which I think is. If you could start sharing your screen, Angela Marie.
Yep. Okay. Let me know if you can all see that.
It's on screen now. Brilliant. Okay, well, I'll leave you to explain why you're doing the pitch today, and good luck. And I'll be back in 3 minutes' time. Okay.
Okay. So I'm Angela Marie Graham. I'm the CFO of Goldilock, and I apologise that our founders couldn't be here, but they're currently in commercial meetings. So Tony is in Australia meeting with a number of potential clients, including one of the world's biggest managed service providers. And Stephen is in Europe at the moment meeting with NATO. So I'll be presenting today, and the problem that Goldilock addresses is cybercrime. And it's not just the financial losses that we want to prevent, but it's also the fact that cybercrime can take human lives. All you need to think about is the attacks on hospitals, or what happens to potentially an ICU if the power goes down. So the solution to the problem, sorry, I think I've gone, yeah. And when a cyber attack is in progress, often the only solution is to pull the plug, which, as you can often see, isn't possible or practical. The solution that Goldilocks have come up with is one that allows you to physically disconnect and reconnect your assets remotely, wherever you are, without using the internet. It allows you to respond when you're being attacked. It allows you to be proactive, and it allows you to shield your assets, your digital assets, from the outside world whenever you need to or decide to. The team that have developed this solution have many years of experience. Our co-founder, Tony, has a track record as a successful entrepreneur. Stephen is an international lawyer with an emphasis on emerging technologies. Rich, our CTO, is very much an inventor and has worked designing over 15 years embedded networks and computer technology. And the rest of our team has experience in Dell, Cisco, managing startups, running international businesses, and the military. With this team in place, our ARCs is 1 to 2 million that we will use to accelerate our growth and improve our Series A attractiveness. And we are hoping to go for a Series A next year. To date, we have raised 5 million from high net worth individuals, including the New York Angels and the Harvard Business School. And we have done so having only 4 entities on our cap table, with our founders still owning over 70% of the business. Our strategy is to scale rapidly via channel partners. And to date, we have attracted considerable interest from names such as Centrica and Sterling, and a large international distributor. We also currently have 2 of our units being trialed by Elecnor in Spain. Our target over 5 years is 100 million plus of turnover, which we aim to achieve by providing unparalleled cybersecurity protection and by saving lives. Thank you.
Perfectly timed. Thank you very much, Angela Marie. So it's now time for Q&A. So again, I'll be back in 6 minutes. And just for the audience that's connected, same as Thomas did earlier, if anybody does have a question, feel free to put it into the chat and we'll put it on screen and Angela Marie will answer it for you. So Ana, Tristán, I leave it to you again. Ana, you might as well you go first again, and I'll be back in 6 minutes time.
Okay. Tristán, you want to go this time or yours?
Okay, sure. Well, thank you, Angela, for the pitch, and congrats for what you've achieved so far. In terms of the product, I have a short question from my side. Is this like a solution to manage once you've received a cyber attack, or is it more to, or does it also prevent from a cyber attack happening?
It can do both. It can be both. So we envision that people have a device there, and if you have a digital asset that doesn't need to always be internet facing, you might, and you can program when it will be on and off. So your databases, access to critical national infrastructure that don't always need to be interfacing, you can switch it off and switch it on, particularly if it's remote. If you can imagine you've got a water station that's 100 miles away, you know an engineer is going to visit, you know at that moment they need to come into the internet, you can switch it on at that time. And you can switch it off when they leave, rather than it always being open and therefore always potentially being able to attack. But yes, additionally, if you are currently under attack and you have any need to say, right, stop, just stop, close it down, it can do both.
Okay. And we'll go ahead, Anna, sorry.
No, please don't worry. I'll go after. No problem.
No, I was going to ask, and how does it work? Like, how do you connect with the company, and like that does it need an integration, which lasts or it takes a lot of time to integrate with the company? Like, how do you actually manage to be in the company and just to press a button and then disconnect from all the technological products? How do you integrate with the company?
Okay, so the device is a box, so it's physical. So it sits in between where your servers or your databases are and your connection to the outside world. So you can slip it in between there. The connections that come through at the moment are your standard, for example, RJ45, or, and this is where I am a little less technical, your coaxial links and stuff like that. But basically, it's a physical device that comes in, but then is controlled automatically outside of that. So it very much depends on how you've designed your internal networks. And everywhere at some point, you've got a link to the outside world. So we envision the books will be there.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Hi, Angela.
You don't need to be to switch it on and off. I suppose that's the most important thing. You can be completely somewhere else.
Okay, Angela. Thank you. It sounds a very interesting technology. My question is more related perhaps to the financing or the sales part. So you mentioned that you've already raised around 5 million. You're now looking for 1 and 2.
Yes.
Why this switch? I mean, why you go from 5 million then to raise 1 or 2? Where have you invested that money so far? And well, it's too many questions together, but like I want to get like an understanding of the background or the temporary line of where you were, where you are right now.
Okay. Yeah. No, I understand. So the 5 million that we've raised has been since 2021 when the company started. So I'd say up to potentially 3 million of that has actually gone into developing the product and the support around that. And about 500,000 has gone into working capital around that. So a lot of it has gone into development to date. What we are hoping to do is to get to a Series A next year. And we do have some of that fund still with us. We have a runway of 10 months at the moment. And we are putting those funds into growing. So we envision growing the business to do the business. We've been developers. We're now moving into the sales stage. We appointed our first salesperson, our chief revenue officer, at the beginning of this year. We see from May onwards, we want to start bringing on specialized salespeople who will be channel partner managers, but internationally. So we've identified someone in the Netherlands. We've identified someone in France. We've got on board someone in the US and someone in Australia. And we see those funds being used to help to grow the business, to support the business, to improve ourselves. And basically, we want to make ourselves more attractive in terms of our Series A. We see towards this end of the year at the moment, we could get possibly about 1.5 million sales. If we can get everybody on at the same time to do that, we could probably accelerate that to 2.5 million before we get to our Series A. So that's what the funds would be used for going forward.
Okay, so you want to focus more on the sales side right now with this last amount of money that you're looking for. But in terms of sales, maybe I didn't keep the information in my head during the presentation. You went through a slide where you mentioned some partners, but I'm not sure if you're already on pilot stage or if you've tried this solution already with some clients. And how is this process? Has there been any feedback so far that you can share?
Yes. Yeah. So we've got a couple of units with Centrica, a utility provider here in the UK. It's currently going through a POC, proof of concept. But of the feedback we've been getting to date has been a few things that we would put into development as the customer would want in terms of how they would react with the product. But our early indications are that they will be ready to start buying units towards the end of this year. They like what they've got and they're ready to go ahead. We've also got a couple of units that have just went out to Elecnor in the last 2 to 3 weeks. And again, they are testing that to move forward. We've sold, last year, our sales, we sold about 6 units, and this was before we had a sales team in place, just founder-led sales. We're planning this year to really start our sales push from May onwards. So to date, this period between now and May, we didn't expect to get any sales, but we currently do. We've currently just sold 1 unit, and we've got an airstrip in the UK, in the US, who have come back and said, we really like what you're doing, explain it to us. But we need to be sales ready. That's the challenge for us at the moment. We've been very good at developing the product, but getting the product ready to sell, the documentation behind it, the training documents, what's in the box, how do you install it, the videos, all of that is what we're working through now to allow us that and we've had a lot of interest coming in. And of course, we need to have people who can respond to that and respond quickly. So I anticipate that our sales will start from May onwards. And as I said, we've already got at least 1 sale this year, 1 unit's left the building, a few more are coming. And I anticipate that by the end of this year, we'll have sold over 100 units by the end of this calendar year.
Perfect. Thank you, Angela.
Just one additional question from me that which might help is in terms of the amounts, right? So if you're saying 100 units by the end of the year and up to 1.5 million of sales, and then I can assume that each unit is what is
they're approximately about 20,000. Yeah, we think on average
20.
we'll be selling a unit for 20,000. Yeah, and they also come with a. I was going to say they also come with a service package, which we see as recurring revenues. So we have the hardware sales and we sell that package. Yeah, there is a recurring.
That was going to be my next question. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and we're also looking at the moment. Our customers have been wanting to buy the units, but we're also looking at the potential as hardware as a service. So we see that as a potential as well for how we can grow the business.
Brilliant. Okay, and there's one question again from Tomas from the audience. So I'll bring it up on screen, and if you wouldn't mind answering it.
Yes, we do. There are a number of patents that we've got out there across the world. I think there's about 14 of them. So yes, we do have intellectual property as well. Okay,
perfect. And with that, I'll say goodbye. Very well done, Angela Marie. I know you were nervous about it, but you've done well. So congratulations. And
thank you for listening.
No worries whatsoever. And then Ana, Tristán. So Eatamigo, as I say, isn't able to connect up. I mean, if you like, I can play this video. As you see fit, I've got it open here on my screen, so it'd just be me sharing my own. Oh, yeah, I can share my own screen. Or we can spend, as we've gone over a little bit on the last ones, we can jump to Aunoa, Fernando, that's connected here, and I'll send you the video and the presentation from Eatamigo. And if you have any questions on that, obviously, then I'll connect you with him so that you can do that. I think that might be a little bit more interesting for the audience than just putting a video on the screen. But as you wish, I'll leave it in your hands.
That's it for us.
Fernando? Yeah, okay. All right. So we jump to Fernando. Fernando is now here on screen. Hi, Fernando. If you could start sharing your screen, and then I'll add it in, and then the floor will be all yours. Here we go. Brilliant.
You can see my screen?
Yeah, it's on screen now. Okay, well, I'll leave it for you, and as you already know, I'll be back in 3 minutes, just appearing when the time's up. Okay, good luck. Okay. I'll be back in a bit.
Hi, this is Fernando, corporate director of Aunoa. Aunoa is a company, a software company that has developed a SaaS platform to automate customer care services and process. I will go fast in the first part of presentation because it's in English and just 3 minutes. So the problem.
Fernando, just one thing. We can see your notes also on the screen. So
you can see my note. Let me check. No.
So no problem. The notes are also helpful.
No, because the is not complete. Hold it. Presentar, compartir pantalla. Now?
Yeah, perfect.
So let me go fast through the problem. The problem is the inefficiency of the actual customer care systems, mainly because are non-scalable solutions. So recently have been a radical change in how the companies afford this. Especially by these 3 causes. This is what we think that a customer service system should be, should have, and this is let's say the competence. Okay, I mean the alternatives in the company for the customer service problem. Well, let us focus on the company. This is some of our clients. We are pretty transversal, agnostic of the sector because the customer service problem is a common problem of every company. They have a large base of customer or volume of customer service. You can see that we have bank, utilities, insurance, fintech, and so on. But the important things are the goals are they achieving. It's not only a question of cost reductions, as you may think, also sales automation or human agents productivity. So, which is our business model? Obviously, we are a SaaS B2B company. We have an average ticket high, let's say more than 1,000 euro per month in an average. And currently, we are more than 100 clients, excluding any kind of pilot or proof of concept. And we are in 10 countries in Spain and in Latin America. An important thing is we have a high percentage of, let's say, upselling and expansion, which is from existing customers or new customer in the same group of companies. Okay. Okay. Let's see the company evolution. We was born on 2019, but actually we start to sell at the beginning of 2020. Sorry, a marvelous day to start, and we have had two rounds. Let's say a pre-seed round of 500,000, and last summer 1.2 million round. So this is our actual cap table, which the founders still have the 70% of the company, and the rest of the company it's split because between one month GoHub, A1i, which is an vehicle, Auroreal, which is the fund of PC Componentes, and the Ionic fund. So this is our track record, the past and the business plan for the next 3 years. And now we have the first quarter of 2024 closed. We have overpassed the 1 million of ARR, and we are targeting the 2 million at the end of the year. Okay, the 2 million of ARR. Just a graphic to explain how affect the change in the target of customer last year. We just double the ARR, just switching from medium to large companies, and well, this is the split of how the customers come in. Of course, I can send out the presentation later, and this is our strategy to grow more this year, especially in the outbound channel, because our sales team is relatively young. We started with it 1 year ago. So also this is let's say the non-commercial part. We're involved in a lot of projects of research in some aspects of artificial intelligence, always financed by state government, regional government, or Europe. That's why have to choose Aunoa, and the most important thing is the team. We are 4 founders with 23 years working together. This is our 3rd company together, and I don't know how the time is. So let's close and let's start the questions.
Yeah, you went over. You were obviously doing full screen, so you couldn't see that I was on there. But because we missed Eatamigo, I let you go for it. So okay, it's now Q&A. I'll take your screen off so that you can see it. Everybody can see you fully, and I'll be back in 6 minutes' time. One thing, Fernando, I think it's worth mentioning your churn rate, because they're going to find it interesting.
I have to take attention to your advices. Yes, our churn is eventually 0. We have never lost a customer. Well, we have lost a couple of customers because problems in the company has disappeared. But in fact, we have 0 chance, and our ticket is high. So nobody who pays a ticket of 1,000 euros per month, continue paying the ticket if it don't worth it. So we have to say that we have satisfied customers.
Okay, Fernando, thank you very, very much for the presentation, and congratulations on these metrics that are very hard to get for other startups, such as the churn. My main question is a little bit similar to the one that I asked to a company before. It's around generative AI. So you were born before all the bust of Gen AI, and your use case is a typical one for generative AI. So there's many people trying to implement generative AI solutions in this segment of customer support. So how did you deal with all that? And yeah.
As you say, we were previous to the boom of the AI, generative AI. We are working with artificial intelligence models in language treatment from 9 years ago, and the most important thing is the generative AI, or even the language models itself, is not the key here. I mean, the key here is to get a complete system to afford the problem, combining integrations, combining tools for help agents, combining, let's say, traditional AI models, combining also the generative AI. So, and especially having tools to get the customer data, which is very important for the large company, inside our control. I mean, we have our own models. We are not using, OpenAI or Gemini or whatever, because I mean, big companies they don't want to share the data with that companies. So anyway, this is a very challenging and changing world. So I think our success is to get every new technology and how to adopt to ensure the good service and the latest technology available and safety for our clients.
Thank you, Fernando.
Just to understand this use case, like companies, how do they use your product and why do they use it? And then I will ask another follow-up question, but first of all, to understand this use case.
Our main user case. So our main use case was customer service from big companies to the customer. I mean, you can say let's say that the typical chatbot, for example, in any kind of channel, web or conversational channels, WhatsApp, Instagram, whatever. But from 1 year ago, we are more inside internal uses. I mean, for example, for human resources, for example, for industrial companies, which have a huge amount of documents that they have, split it in a vast intranet, and it's difficult to find out the right information, and any kind of processes of sales and marketing who requires a quick and a smooth customer experience, for example, to sign a contract.
Mm-hmm.
Or processes of inbound marketing to refine the leads and so on. Let's say that every day we have a new use case, not only last customer service.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so we've run out of time there. Thank you very much, Fernando. I'll take you off and I'll bring on David from Visionaries. Just 1 second.
Okay.
See you later. Bye-bye.
See you.
Bye.
And here's David. David, if you could start sharing your screen, and then
I was afraid that I couldn't share my screen from my phone, and I'm at the Watches of Wonder show in Geneva, and unfortunately the internet is so bad, and I cannot leave my booth. And I can't. There's no buttons to share the screen from this phone. I don't know how to do this. It doesn't. I think I can do it from my computer, but I cannot join from the computer.
Yeah. Okay.
Because of the Wi-Fi.
Well, that I don't know. Well, then you can do
I'll give you a verbal pitch. I'm so sorry I cannot share my screen.
Exactly. You do it bareback.
So thank you very much, everyone. I'm David. Oh, sorry. Go on.
No. You've got 3 minutes. I'll be back in 3 minutes time.
Cheers.
Okay.
Cheers. So my name is David. We co-founded the company 3 years ago, and we have a system where you can physically scan environments with an iPad Pro or a LiDAR scanner, and you create a digital twin. This digital twin allows you remotely to allocate training and maintenance routines in augmented reality. So imagine that you have a convenience store in California. You're sitting in Madrid. You scan the convenience store in California. From Madrid, you could place the checklist, and the employee would take out a phone, and they will be walking around and will be following the checklist on what they need to execute step by step. You don't need to install any hardware. You don't need to install any sensors, and we can remotely train and manage any kind of employees. We are profitable. We have clients in Japan, Europe, and the US. We have done hospitals, convenience stores, amusement parks, office buildings. And our dream is eventually to capture a client like 7-Eleven, 77,000 stores worldwide, people doing the same job over and over again, but we can alternate routines and make, just imagine like a Pokemon Go scenario where we could guide people to clean a toilet and collect a gold coin, put a Coca-Cola in the refrigerator and collect a gold coin. That's pretty much it. And I'm really sorry I cannot show you because it's very cool. At the show, we are showcasing the Apple glasses. We've been working with Apple for many years on previous to starting this venture. So yeah, feel free to ask any questions.
Brilliant. Well, that was very short and sweet. So I'll leave you for the Q&A, and again, I'll come back in 6 minutes' time.
Okay, David, thank you very much. It was fast. So I have a question. I'm not sure I really understood. For example, when you were saying you would like 7-Eleven as a client, what is the use case? Because I understood you record, you film, or you take pictures of an environment, and then you transform this into a 3D model that you can see in virtual reality or augmented reality, right?
Yeah,
and I understood that the use case
I just had an idea. Look, okay, cool. So can you see my screen on the iPad?
A little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me just try and. Okay. So this is how it would work. With this iPad, I'm scanning the environment. Okay. I am scanning 7-Eleven. Then I create a digital twin scan with the iPad. And in this digital twin world, I can assign training and maintenance routines remotely. And then the employee would just have to activate their phone, and this is what they would see. They would see a system that guides them from one place to another and shows them what they need to do step by step with augmented reality. If the employee doesn't know what to do, you can upload pictures and videos, but they can be self-trained. And after they're trained, they just have to follow the processes that are established within the system, so we can remotely, again, guide people through augmented reality on a phone of any kind. I'm glad that we could share the video. Sorry.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So the use case is employee training, right? Mainly.
So employee training, one, but the other challenge is when you train them, normally what they do is they have people follow these paper checklists. So have you been to a shopping mall and they have in the toilet, like cleaned every hour the toilet with a signature? People don't actually clean the toilets and complain, but the signature is there. With our system, they're guided to the toilets. They have to clean the toilet, take a picture, and then the record is there. Or you could say, for example, the fire extinguisher. Make sure you take a picture of the fire extinguisher every month to make sure that it's free of obstruction. Or for retail, make sure that the things are laid out in the correct area. But this is repetitive task, and the employee has to do it every single day.
Okay, so understood. You're competing with some other digital solutions that are based on forms, perhaps. Where, because what you were telling me is, okay, you add the 3D or the virtual reality or the video, right, as a cooler factor.
I would say, yes, you're right. I would say that it's not just cooler, but the forms, you could sit down in a bench and just tick, and you don't execute the task. With our system, you have to go to that location, activate it, and take the task. You know what I mean? With the checklist, you can trick the system.
Well, there's I was asking because there's some checklists which also include pictures and things like this. So there's across systems where there's not just a form where you fill in, but like you also have to upload pictures and things like that are approved.
So you're right. So the two challenges with that is the person needs to know the space, so you need to train them somehow. With our system, they're self-trained because they're guided. Secondly, with our system, the other topic is that we can create alternative routes. So repetitive tasks are very boring for people. People quit their jobs after 6 months because it's always the same job. With our system, you can start today with the toilets. Tomorrow you start with the Coca-Cola machine. So every day is a different job for them because they don't know what's going to happen.
Okay. So I'm not sure if Tristán, you want to ask a question. If not, I can go on.
Does it work only with closed environments or also outside?
Outside. We have an industrial scanner that we work with from Germany, and they've scanned multiple factory buildings of BMW in Munich, so it works outdoors. Yeah.
And in one point of the company are you? Like, have you developed the product, and is this product being used by companies? How many? And what's been your experience so far?
We are making 300,000 euro a year in revenue. We have a 70% net profit margin. We have clients like Lego in Denmark, BMW in Germany. We have testing now with 7-Eleven in Japan. We have in South America and in Mexico, Grupo Alsea, Burger King, McDonald's, and Carl's Jr. Burgers are using it. Hospital Authority in Singapore. The Italian airport is now running some pilots. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Just to give you an idea.
And what's the round size? And what's the funds going to use for?
So we want to. The thing is, with many of the projects that we have been doing, we're factories, and there's a very big liability. If you're walking with your phone, you could fall down and have a problem. The future will be smart glasses, but these glasses right now are €4,000. So the funds would be used to focus on franchises. We want to go after every franchise in the world because it's copy and paste. If you make savings in 1-7-Eleven or McDonald's, you can copy and paste the savings worldwide.
Mm-hmm.
And the size, we're looking at least €3.5 million at this stage for 10% equity.
So you said you started with factories, because I guess that these there's a lot more competitors there, I guess, because we've seen the emergence of VR glasses in that sector more than in others, perhaps.
So there is more competitors in that sector who are starting now, because the problem is for factories. When you scan a factory, you are copying the intellectual property of the client. So let's say BMW. This is not easy to get into this. We have been in the automotive industry for many years. We have many clients who allow us to do this. So I think you're seeing startups who are growing now, but unfortunately, I think to become profitable, it's hard for them, because you really need to have this trust, and it's just not easy to access these factories, for example. So that, by the way, we know everything about factories, so we want to move away from factories.
Okay, so your focus now is on Amazon, right?
Yeah.
No, that's fine. You can carry on, because Leire, who is gonna present We Are Clickers, isn't connected. So
unfortunately, I have a meeting here waiting for me here, so I have to go, guys.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, David. Bye. Okay, cool. Well, so Leire's not with us, so we're good to call it a day for the moment. I hope that you found it interesting, Ana and Tristán, and
Yes.
those of you that are connected online. And I'm sorry again for appearing a couple of minutes late, but we've now got that sorted. So in the next one, we won't have this username issue. And thanks for being here, and hope to see you again in next year's Bind investor matching sessions.
Okay,
For
thank
sure.
you very much.
Sure, Tom. Bye. Thank you.
And bye.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.